This challenge almost made me quit Brotato because it was just so difficult. You see, on this channel I tend to tackle some pretty intense challenges in Brotato. But this one seemed downright impossible at first. Basically, a beautiful challenge idea was laid out with a few simple rules. Rules that were going to make my life miserable over the next week. 1. We aren't allowed to use sticks. They would make the Fisherman too powerful. Easy enough. And with the new Abyssal Terrors DLC, we even have extra options. 2. We must buy every single bait that we come across in the shop. Simple, right? And 3. We aren't allowed to leave the shop without refreshing if we still have the mats to do so. Which makes Wave 2 look like this. What on earth was that, you might ask? Basically, each bait draws in 7 or 8 alien enemies called Lampreys. And these guys are extremely dangerous. They charge, shoot projectiles, and have a ton of health. So without a plan set up on how to deal with this, I started out by trying different weapons. One of the first being a DLC weapon, the Sharp Tooth. Maybe the lifesteal gained off of them will be enough to curb the damage off the Lampreys. Not even close. Well, maybe we can do something about the shop. Our biggest problem at the moment is that there's too many Lampreys spawning in. So we'll try to buy more items in the shop in order to have less materials to refresh. Okay, we might be onto something. After a few more attempts with the Sharp Tooth as the starting weapon, we realize that we need something stronger right off the bat. So we move on to the Revolver. It's one of the stronger guns, but has a reload time after 6 shots. Maybe it'll work. Great. Well, it seems like this strategy doesn't seem to be working. How about we kick it up a notch in the shop? We'll buy basically everything to ensure that we don't have enough mats to refresh. Well, those weapons were a waste of time. And how about the Shredder? Its bullets have a chance to explode on impact, so its AoE might help with the large groups of Lampreys. Wait, is the Shredder working? Oh, it is! Finally! After all these attempts, we made it past Wave 2. But this is literally just the beginning. We still have 18 more waves to go. And with each wave, we pick up more and more baits. Until eventually Wave 7 hits us like a truck. But every failed run has taught us something. And in this next attempt, things get a little crazy. So we start things off with another Shredder run. This time, however, we're presented with something we haven't thought of before. The medical gun. This is about to change our entire gameplay. You see, we take a lot of damage at the start of every wave. But while the Shredder deals with the crowd control, the medical gun will be able to heal us up quite a bit with its lifesteal capabilities. So we continue with our strategy of purchasing as much as possible to avoid refreshing too many times. And this seems to give us some solid ground to work with. Keep in mind, baits aren't all bad. They do give us some extra damage at a very low cost. We still need to make sure to be careful though. And now, heading into the wave that crushed our best attempt so far, we find ourselves with 13 baits, the highest it's been so far. This is about to get crazy. Wait a minute, where's all the Lampreys? The last time we did this wave was pretty much impossible. But now... Wait, all this time we were afraid of getting more baits, but the Lampreys don't stack onto the next wave. Even with this realization though, Brotato doesn't tend to get easier as the waves go on. we still have a final boss to survive with a bunch of Lampreys coming after us. But for now, we get on with completing wave after wave, stacking up on bait, but keeping to our strategy to not overdo it, until something a little off happens. It seems like the Lampreys aren't just spawning at the start of the wave, but actually all throughout, and it's making the end game here quite difficult. Did we just break the game by picking up too many baits? Anyways, just when we thought this run couldn't get much crazier, we find this DLC item, the mirror. And yes, obviously we used it on baits, bringing our total up to 39, and almost overwhelming us in the process. But we pull through, and after one more successful wave, we ready up for the final boss. But before we take on the final boss here, if you've enjoyed watching me suffer through this challenge, why not subscribe? Trust me, there's plenty more suffering where this came from. Woo! We did it! After failing so many attempts on wave 2, sometimes with only 2 baits, isn't it satisfying to win it all with 46 of them? And after a few more waves in Endless, we eventually get taken down on wave 24. So that'll do it. And if you have any challenge ideas you'd like me to try out, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to check out this other insane challenge I completed using only tier 1 items. Thanks for watching.